When you understand that no one cares about you. Sartre. You've been told your whole life that people care, that your struggles matter to others, that the world is watching, and you need to perform accordingly. Smile, apologize, fit in. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. No one is truly paying attention. Not in the way you think. Most people are too absorbed in their own survival, their own chaos, their own insecurities to care about yours. It's not cruelty, it's reality. And once you truly understand this, not just hear it, but absorb it, everything changes. Suddenly, the weight you've been carrying to please others starts to feel pointless. You stop editing yourself for an audience that isn't even watching. You stop twisting your truth to make others comfortable. Because when you realize no one's truly watching, you're finally free to live without the mask. The fear of judgment fades. The pressure to be perfect dies. You no longer act to impress. You act to express. Sartre called it the awakening of existential freedom. The terrifying, beautiful moment you realize you are the sole author of your life, and no one's coming to save you, approve of you, or even notice you. That moment, it's when you finally start living. This isn't a tragedy, it's freedom. When you finally realize no one is really watching you, you're no longer trapped in the performance. You stop playing the role they wrote for you. You stop censoring yourself to fit their expectations. And something strange happens. You become dangerous because you begin to live for yourself. Not to impress, not to be understood, but to express. When the need for approval dies, authenticity is born. And that's when everything starts to shift. At first, it feels harsh, like being cut off from something warm. But over time, that chill becomes clarity. You start seeing yourself not through their eyes, but through your own. The silence they left behind, you fill it with your own voice. The absence of validation, you replace it with self-trust. You stop chasing the illusion of being fully known by others and begin the far greater journey of knowing yourself. And that's when peace starts to whisper through the noise. You start noticing the patterns. How much of your life was designed for applause that never came? The job you took to impress your parents, the relationship you clung to out of fear of loneliness, the dreams you abandoned because someone laughed. It wasn't even about them. It was about the ghost of their judgment living rent-free in your mind. But now you start renovating. You evict those voices. You reclaim your space. And in doing so, something wild happens. You begin designing a life that actually fits you. Not a costume, not a character, but a life that feels like breathing, not performing. That's where liberation begins. Liberation isn't loud. It's not a speech or a post. It's quiet, internal. Like the moment you stop explaining yourself mid-sentence. Like the morning you wake up and realize you feel light. No anxiety to please, no weight of someone's gaze on your every move. It's the ability to say no without guilt, to walk away without burning in shame, to choose solitude over shallow company, and actually enjoy it. You begin to see power not in attention, but in self-containment. And while others are still dancing for claps, you're building peace in silence. That's not isolation, that's sovereignty. It's funny. Once you accept that no one's really watching, you become more visible than ever. Not because you're louder, but because you're real. In a world full of masks, Your authenticity shines like fire. People start leaning in, not because you're performing, but because you're grounded. You're not chasing connection, you're becoming it. You no longer demand love. You radiate presence. You become the kind of person who walks into a room and shifts its energy, not with effort, but with essence. And it's not because you tried harder. It's because you stopped trying to be someone else. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Sartre was really pointing to. The moment you realize no one's coming to rescue you is the same moment you become your own hero. You stop waiting to be chosen. You stop performing for a crowd that never really cared. You start living like the main character in a life you actually wrote. Not a life of rebellion, but of remembrance. Remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. That's when everything changes. Not outside, inside. Quietly, powerfully, permanently.